Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer and I'm still playing American Megafauna, and this will probably be my last video of the series. After my first attempt with Dogface, which was a total failure, I now tried the Proto-Croc, and he's definitely doing better. I have a population now on every biome here. I already have one genotype, this red-eyes, and there's one immigrant here, but that's not really a problem because I'm a husker up there and this guy is eating the rest of the plants of the biome, so there is no really competition. And well, let's see how it goes now. I made one mistake which is important. I should tell you about that. We got these biomes here with 1M, and they count as marine biomes, basically the same as biomes with 2M. And now I always told you that if you are a creature with 2M DNAs, you're not allowed to live in these 1M biomes. That is not true. You can live in 1M biomes or in 2M biomes. You're only not allowed to live on the land, but as long as you live in marine biomes, no problems here. Okay, but this is not the case in this game. So let's come now to the Cretaceous and let's draw this card here. First one. Oh man, that would have been good. It's a 4-brain and it's a wild card. So that might have been helpful. But okay, we can't afford it. We don't have any genes right now. But at the moment that's not too bad. So what I wanted to do now is, well, let me see. I wanted to do some herbivore migrations, actually. I will move with this guy here. These red-eyes, and they can eat because they got a G and a B. So they can survive in this environment. And then one of these two, they're huskers. That's why they can survive here. This is one of my Proto-Crocs, and they move back now here on this environment where is no requirement, so they can now live here too. And actually I'm trying to go down here because there are also these husker symbols. So basically I could live on the whole continent right now as a husker, and that's a pretty good thing, I think. So I'm gonna try to spread over this continent. Oh, fine. So the next card is okay, here we got an immigrant again. And we are still in the Mesozoic. So this is this Velociraptors. And he comes from Asia. And this time it's a predator. Because there is only one R. Okay, so this guy enters here now on this biome and tries to find prey there. And he could eat the husker, but they always enter with their maximum size. So that would be a 4 in this case. The husker has a size of 1, so it's too small actually. You have to be the same size or up to 2 less, but you're not allowed to be bigger. Anyway, this guy here, the iguanodons, they are exactly the right size. 4. So that's pretty perfect. And now let's see. There are these roadrunner genes. And if the prey, or the possible prey, is on any one of these roadrunner genes an advantage, so if it has, for example, 2 armor, while the other one only has 1 armor piecing, or if it has 2 swiftness, while the other one has only 1 swiftness, then it's not a suitable prey. But in this case it works fine. We have here an 1 armor piercing against 1 armor, so that's not a problem. This guy has 1 swiftness, so he's faster anyway. And well, that's it. That's enough. Here is 1 wild, and normally if the wild is not needed as a requirement on the biome, which is the case here because it already has B and G, then the wild goes for the niche. So it would be a P, which is physiology, behavior. So in this case we don't have a problem here, and this thing is now eating these iguanodons. Okay. And we all can live in peace up there. And then this guy moves down here to the polar forest, and well, first we have this population expansion, and I will put another one here. And now I move away down here with this guy to the polar forest, and I can live there as a husker because of that husker symbol here. And by the way, I could also do a population expansion there for the retites. And I did another population expansion here. So right now I'm pretty successful, and it's possible for, I mean, these biomes, they can feed 2 normal herbivores and in addition 2 huskers, so no problems here. Okay, and then let's draw the next card. Oh man, that's an interesting gene, long swan neck. So it gives different advantages depending on the size actually. Okay, I can't afford this anyway. And then we do one more population expansion. We place 1 here. And now this one moves down here and also lives there as a husker. And we can also do population expansions up here and in addition 1 up there. So the map is now getting pretty crowded, and on these biomes here we find now 2 huskers and 2 normal herbivores. So actually we are pretty successful. Let's draw the next card. Ah, that is a new genotype. Sadly we cannot afford this, so it will enter as another immigrant now. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see now. These are the baryonychids, and because there is no ice, they come from the north. And here it's definitely too crowded, so they won't appear here because they won't compete against other immigrants. Now let's see what this is. Well, that is B and G, and they have M, marine, and armor. So they could not live here. They can live here. That is possible. So that's where they go. And we have a competition. They have a size of 4. And well, this is going to be a problem. I'm afraid I might lose that competition. Okay, but before it comes to this, there is this Milankovitch cycle, Milankovitch P. So we have now an aphelion summer again. The land gets wetter, and that means terrestrial biomes with sun shrink 1. Okay, let's see if we got something like that. There's rain. Doesn't seem so actually. Nope. We don't have that. Okay. Okay, so now we have to do this culling, and first we have to check the niche, and this is this eye, and that's insectivorous, but no one of both can fill this niche. And then we have to check the roadrunner genes, and they have these armor, and that gives them the advantage here, because I don't have any roadrunner gene. So this guy will die. What I could have done before, and I think I will, I can move here. I mean, in the end it doesn't really matter, but yeah, okay, I move there. And here I will also do a population expansion. So now it looks like this. Okay. And this is another genotype that I cannot afford. And this is the reptilian side, because we're still in the Mesozoic era. So these are flying reptiles. Okay. And again, they will enter from the north. IMSS. So let's see. They have a maximum size of 2. So up here they cannot survive. Neither here. Here is already another one. Here and there it's also not possible. So there is no way for them to survive as herbivores. And then they tried, they checked for the carnivore option. And that should be possible because they have these 2 roadrunner genes. There won't be they won't give a competition here, but they can try to find some food here. So the size is fine for, well, no, actually it's not possible for them to eat the protocroc because they're too big. They enter with size 2. So they only could eat the ratites. But they are here, so they might try this. The ratites have only 1 swiftness, so they are faster. That means it seems to be a suitable prey, actually. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, that's perfect. So basically they go here on these cycad trees and they can eat these ratites. Okay. And we have another Milankovitch. It's again Milankovitch P. So it's the perihelion summer again. And the land gets even drier. Terrestrial biomes with 1 rain shrink 1. So that's a problem now, because this is actually this one. And that one is shrinking now even more, so it is simply removed. The tropical rainforest is destroyed. That's bad news for the baryonychids. They simply are extinct. Okay, I think that's it. Yep. Okay. So let's see what comes up. Another gene, lateral line organ, water pressure, lateral line organ. Okay, we can't buy that. We don't have any money. No genes. Let's draw the next one. And that's a new biome. Fine. And this time it's a marine biome. So you have to have 2 marine DNA to live there. It's the Teuthoids squid. And we get 1 gene. Okay. So the next one is swallow stones into crop to help grind food. Gizzard stone foregut digestion. Okay, no money, we can't do this. And again the next one, oh man, that's another intruder. So this is stegosaurs. And they try now from the north. They can't go here because it's too crowded, but there's a chance to go there. They have a B, but they don't have a G, so this graze ability, they don't actually have that. They only have a browse ability and armor. So they can't go there. They can't go there either because that's a marine, but they can go here actually. That is possible. The polar forest. So they end up here. And that's not a good thing. There is no competition between them and the huskers, the protocroc, but the ratites. They want to eat there too. But first we have this Milankovitch event. Milankovitch T. This is a 24-axis tilt. And that means now seasonal biomes with, I don't know what that means, I think it's some kind like season or that, grow. And earth weather biomes with rain grow 1. So there's a lot now. Ah man. So first it's this one, the maple hackberry woodland that grows. It can now support 3 creatures. And well, that one doesn't grow. This one grows because there is this symbol here. What about that one? Nope. Oh man. Okay. But that one also grows. The oak and beech woodland. Okay then. And then we have a population expansion. So now we can add, I think we can actually add 1 of every species. That should be possible. So because of this Milankovitch cycle, we can now add, let me see. We can add 1 population up here of the protocroc. Another one down here. And a 3rd one of the ratites down here. And there is no migration. And then we have the culling here. And, well, let me see. So, first let's check if anybody fits the niche, or fills the niche. That's not the case. That would be nocturnal here in the polar forest. But neither the stegosaurs nor the ratites have any nocturnal DNA. And then we check the roadrunner DNAs. They have 1 armor. And I have 1 swiftness. Okay, so now I see that I made a few errors here. I think it's not too important, but well, it says here, first you have this niche, then roadrunner herbivores inedible to all predators in the hex beat others. I think the one with the most roadrunner genes wins, but actually that's not the case. It depends on these predators, and there is no predator, so it's still a tie. And then they have the game warden, and it says if there is only 1 type of predator and that predator can predate all herbivores in the hex, then the predator decides who survives. So basically it might be a good idea to have a predator here, because then we could simply decide who survives this. So actually I'm thinking about becoming a predator. Maybe that's a good idea. But I'm not sure if I can compete up there. And finally it's the dentition. Herbivores with the most teeth survive. And because they enter with 4 teeth, RR, RR, they would beat mine RR and half M. So basically, I could only decide to to become a predator, otherwise I would die here. And I wonder if I should do that. Because if I decide to do so, then all my ratites become predators. And that probably means I'm not sure if I can compete against the flying reptiles. Okay, I think that's not such a great idea. Simply because, well, I'm not sure there is suitable prey for me everywhere. So I think I simply give up this biome here. And I'm still there as a husker. And everything's fine then. Okay. So let's draw the next card. Okay, this is the Sedge Tundra. And, well, that's interesting. That goes actually right here. So we gain a gene. And then we place this one here. And the good thing is we can stay a husker here. But this guy, he is extinct because he can't graze, which is necessary here. So the Stegosaurus now goes away. Okay. And here we have tripod stands. And, well, we don't have the money for that, so it simply goes away. And let's go on now. Okay, another immigrant. And now we are actually in the Cenozoic. There are only these two piles left. We are in the Cretaceous. Wait a minute, where are we now? This is the Tertiary. So now these harvester ants come into play. And they come from South America. So they enter here. This oak and beech woodland. Let's see. And they are actually also huskers. So there is a competition now between these two huskers, and because they have this wild, they can use that to fill the niche, the physiology here, and we don't have that. The Protocroc can't fill the niche, so they have to go away. Oh man. They are driven out by harvester ants. That's a shame. Okay, we had a lot of immigrants during the last turns. And we're not quite as safe as we were before, but I think we're still doing fine. This husker ability here, that is really strong. So that might save us. Let's see what comes next. Oh, I see. What is that? Wood boring grubs. This is orogeny. And normally you place an orogeny on another one, but because there is none here, we place it on the lowest climax, and let's see what that is. I think that was a higher one. I think it's this up there. Yeah. Oh man, I think there goes our cycad trees. Yeah, exactly, here. So this goes away now. And we're all gonna die here. Man, this is tough. It needs 2 insectoids here. And it's not suitable for huskers. So we gain another gene. That's good. We now have 3 genes. And the flying reptiles are now also killed because there's no more prey for them. And so we have now here these wood-boring grubs. Okay, well, that's not so good now. We have here, up there, pretty isolated, 3 protocroc living as huskers. But if we come to an ice age or something, they're killed right away. And then down here, another protocroc as a husker. Maybe what I should do is, I should move up there again. That might be a good idea. I could go to this sage tundra. Yeah, that's a very good idea. And with my red hides. So I will do one of these population expansions and then simply move up with 2 here. So in case I lose this biome for some reason, I'm still at least here on that sage tundra. Okay, so it's getting now a little closer. The next one is plate armor. Wow, interesting. Well, I could buy this. Actually, I could. No, I can't use this. I can't give my red hides plate armor because it's not allowed with S heritage, and that's here. But basically, the protocroc could use that. Still, I don't want to give my last genes for that. If there comes a new genotype, I don't want him enter the game as a intruder, as an immigrant. So I might buy that one then. Okay, let's see. The next one is and here we go. Another genotype. Diprotodons, kangaroos, wombats. But this is not what we have, of course, because we are protocrocs. So here's the crocodile. Well, basically we have to buy this. I didn't make this up. I mean, this is really random, and I simply have to buy this. I mean, of course I do. So the only question is now, it's 1 to 4. So I have now 2 options. I could go I have to decide which one is the parent. I could also take the red hides as a parent. That's possible. I mean, it would be definitely funny to let him be the parent. A crocodile as a husker, that's something I wanted to see. But I think it's better if the red-tide do this, because they simply have much more genes and there will be a good heritage then. So we go on here, and now they take the B, this browse ability, the physiology, an armor piercing, graze ability, and swiftness. So that's a grazing crocodile. Awesome. Okay, so I checked this again, and actually the new genotypes only takes the non-heritage DNAs of the parental being. So in this case, not this AGS and also not the M. Only the B and the P. So it has now this AAM, then the physiology and the browse ability. And I have to take this thing here as marker. I don't have a crocodile, so I take this turtle thing here. And I have to place it somewhere, and I think I'm gonna place that here. It has this A required. So I'm wondering if I can become a predator here. That could be a good idea. But I cannot eat the red-tides because I'm too slow. They have swiftness, I don't. I could eat the huskers. They don't have any... no, I couldn't. Basically, they don't have any of these roadrunner genes or DNA, but they're too small. They only have the size of 1. And I have right now a size of 3. I could shrink to 1 and then eat them, but I don't want to do this, I guess. So right now... Well... I think I might stay there. Okay, so I'm now here as a herbivore. I'm not sure if this is the best idea because well, this is the only biome where I can live right now. But let's see what comes up. Let's draw another card. And that's another... Oh, by the way, I forgot, we had this Milankovitch cycle here. That's a P. So the land gets wetter. Terrestrial biomes with sun shrink 1. We don't have a sun anywhere. And then we have the next one. And this time it's the new intruder. And, well, let me see, let me check that. We have now the Mesozoic era, and because we can't... No, the Cenozoic era, and because we cannot... we cannot buy this intruder, it enters as rabbits. And because there is no ice, they start from the top. So let's see, this is obviously crowded. We have this one here, they can't live there because there are no insectivores. Here they need to live in the water. But that one, they could live here. They have this, yeah, they have the graze ability, so they definitely can live there. in this sedge tundra. And they will compete against my retides. Okay. Okay, so first again we have to check the niche. We have a nocturnal here, nobody has that. And then it's the question if there are any predators here. That's not the case, so this these roadrunner genes don't matter. So in the end it comes down to the number of teeth, and they have 4 teeth, they don't have that much, so they have only 2.5, so they die. And the rabbits are now the new kings here. So that's gonna be a problem now. We are only oh man, this is really bad. Right now we're only living in 3 biomes, and these 2 species are close to extinction. The crocodiles and the ratides. They only live on this one. And I think there is actually only one chance at least one of them should try to become a carnivore. Maybe actually both. Basically the crocodiles, they could shrink. They could shrink down to size 1 and then try to eat these harvester ants. That could be a possibility. And the ratides, they could also shrink to size 1 and eat the rabbits. It's not possible the other way around because the rabbits are fast. They have this swiftness here. But the ratides have also one swiftness. So in this case it's a possible solution. So what I'm going to do, first I got to trigger this Milankovitch cycle. And that's a T again. And that says biomes with this seasonal thing grow. And I have that here. So this has now a 4. Let me see. I hope I didn't do this the second time now. I don't think so actually. Okay, so this thing is now at a 4, and I think it's also here, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So this now also can feed 4. And that one too. Oh man. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so now let's hope that we can shrink fast enough to become a predator for these guys. Otherwise, if we lose this biome, it would be pretty bad. On the other hand, it's a pretty high number. But if there comes, if the greenhouse goes up, for example, this will be flooded. So that should not happen. Okay, so now they go down to a size of 2, both of them. Fine. And that's basically it. We could place another creature here because this can now support 4, and this one too. So we can place another crocodile here. Okay, I'd say it's still looking good. But we're not through yet. Let's draw the next card. Well, that is a DNA, camouflage, chromatophore. Okay, so that doesn't matter. And we can adjust our size now. Go to 1, like this. And now we can become a carnivore. At least the ratites will. They move now here to the tundra, and they become carnivores, and they eat these rabbits. They have the same size, they have both the same speed, so that should be not a problem. And the crocodiles, they will stay herbivores. Until now it's no big deal, it's all fine. And then we have population expansion. So we will place 2 more crocodiles here. Yep. Okay, so let's draw the next one. Another DNA, caudal fin. Well, no problems with this one. Only 3 cards left. Another DNA, technological and ideas, self-awareness. Great, but we don't have the genes for that. So it looks like we can make it. Let's see what we got here. Oh man, that's another intruder. Or basically it's a genotype, but it will enter as an intruder. We have this mammal here, the hippomorphs, horses, brontosaurs. Okay. And it will enter as a size of 5, and it will enter from the north. So it has a G and an S. So it won't appear here because that's too crowded. It won't appear here. Also not here. But it will enter here. And that is not... No, it won't. Because it won't compete with the other immigrant, which is this one. And it cannot enter here because it doesn't have this A. So it won't enter as a herbivore, but it might enter as a carnivore. So it won't compete here. There is no prey here. What about this one? No marine abilities. And this one, well, that is interesting. It's actually too big. It has a size of 5, so it's much too big to eat the rabbits. And it's also too big for the protocroc. Remember, they always enter with a maximum size. And the same is here now in this oak and whatever woods, oak and beech woods. We're all very small animals, only a size of 1. And also this ants, so no food for him, so no chance to immigrate here. And now we come to the last card. And as long as it's not the end of the world, this might be my victory card. Let's see what it is. And that's simply a gene. Okay, well. A tonk. Anteater tonk. Great, I made it. Okay, so now in the second attempt, I was definitely more successful, and it was also much more interesting. I could show you well, nearly all of the options in this game. You've seen some genotypes, the Husker option, which is really good here. It was very strong because we had some of these Husker biomes. Yeah, well, I think it was a really good game. Okay, so the only thing we haven't seen was a nice mass extinction. Sometimes if these catastrophes come, they can be really nasty. And the interesting aspect is they sometimes can extinct all species with special number of genes of a certain kind. And that means the more evolved you are, the more risky it is that you can simply be extinct by a catastrophe. So you should avoid to get too many genes. That's an interesting aspect, but in this case we didn't have a problem. Okay, so well, I don't know. A few words to the game maybe. I think it is a fantastic game. The theme is really interesting. It's just fabulous. I mean, everybody loves evolution, I think, and everybody loves plate tectonic, and everybody loves meteor impacts and stuff like that. Well, maybe not, but I absolutely do. And it's really interesting to see how your creatures are evolving and what happens here. And yeah, it's just a great story that is told. It's a very luck-based game. That can be a problem, especially if you are only on 1 or 2 biomes. Then just draw the wrong card and game over. You've seen that in the first game. I was very unlucky there, and I had no genes, so it was a boring game, and I actually just simply died. But here it went much better and was really interesting, I guess. And I can absolutely recommend this. It plays pretty different in multiplayer, but it's a really good solitary experience if you like the theme and if you can live with these components. I mean, I actually laminated these. I think they're okay. I mean, as far as I understood, there is another game of Phil Eklund. It's called American Megafauna. It came out this year, I think, 2012, and it's basically a relaunch, maybe in a more modern way and maybe in a more convenient way. I mean, it's you have better components and it plays pretty similar. I think there are some differences. I haven't played the other one, but from what I've heard, there are some differences, and some people prefer that old one. But well, as I said, I don't know. So yeah, and well, I wish you all a good year 2013 and hope to see you in one of my next videos. Until then, bye.